and welcome to Top Form at the Dorm, Reproductive Medicine Associates of Connecticut's new initiative for women going to college who need to manage their PCOS. We've got live streams, videos, and all sorts of events happening all around this Top Form at the Dorm, so make sure you stay tuned for all of that information coming at the end of the video. But I'm here with the dream team, PCOS girls at our RMA of Connecticut. This is Dr. Ilana Ressler. She's our reproductive endocrinologist here. And Jill Hickey, one of our nutritionists. Both of these ladies are on the PCOS team. I'm Virginia Furnari, and I'm a brand specialist here at RMA of Connecticut. And full disclosure, I have PCOS, and both of these women have helped me manage my symptoms. So trust me when I say that you are in good hands with all of this. So first thing is first, Dr. Ressler, tell everybody what PCOS is.
Very good. So PCOS is a really common condition. It affects up to 15% of women. It's actually thought to be the most common endocrine disorder that affects women of reproductive age. It's diagnosed by meeting two of three things. So one is having irregular cycles, and that means if the time between the start of one period to the start of the next is less than 21 days or greater than 35 days, that makes it an irregular cycle. The second thing is having elevated what are called androgens. These are hormones that include testosterone, DHEAS, but some women have totally normal blood levels and they have symptoms. For example, acne, hirsutism, which is excess or unwanted hair growth. Some have hair thinning. So those qualify for that second criteria as well. The third is polycystic appearing ovaries on ultrasound. So you might wonder, what is a polycystic ovary? It isn't exactly as it sounds. It doesn't mean that
It's a lie.
Yes. It's a little bit of a misnomer, if you will. It just means having many follicles, not abnormal cysts. So cysts can be used for a lot of different meanings, and follicles are structures that actually contain eggs. So it just means that someone has several follicles or potential eggs in their ovaries, more than what a typical ovary would have.
Great. So why is it so important to manage all of these symptoms?
So it's important because PCOS is often pinned as like a gynecologic condition, and while it does have very important gynecologic implications relating to cycles, ovulation, fertility, it also goes well beyond that, and it affects several different aspects of health, ranging from different types of metabolism issues, including insulin, glucose, skin conditions, even mood it can affect.
So this could be a long-term, have long-term side effects.
Correct. So PCOS is thought to be something that someone is born with and has throughout her life. So while it's very common and very well studied, unfortunately there's no known cure for it, but the symptoms can be managed so well that someone is symptom-free and living PCOS free, so to speak, but it's always there in the background.
So if you're just joining us, we are talking with Dr. Ressler and Jill Hickey here about with our Top Form at the Dorm PCOS series. So Jill, I have a question about nutrition. When these women go to college, college is not necessarily associated with like a healthy range of food options here. You've got like your microwavable mac and cheese or your late night pizza. Like what tips do you have for college women with PCOS to take their nutrition to the next level?
Sure. I think one of the first things that's important with it is to kind of plan ahead a bit. Going back to school, whether you're going to a new school, starting back at the same school, learning what your options are is kind of the first step. Scoping out the dining hall, connecting, seeing what options are available for the week. Food-wise, often dining halls have menus posted. You can connect with your food service director. Even the registered dietitian at the school might be able to pinpoint menu selections that are healthier choices that day, and you kind of know ahead, you can kind of plan your week. So once you decide what dining hall you're going to, and there, a lot of schools have different dining halls offer different choices.
Right.
Some might have only organic, some might have whatever, but they might offer different things and you can pick the one you want. So once you're there, it's a good idea once inside to like scope out the whole scene there. They might have shuffled how they organize the makeup. They might have certain snacks in a certain area that you might like if you don't find any hot items that you might like. So get a sense of what's offered. And then once you're ready to go, you really want to think about how you're going to create a healthy plate. And we kind of have a tool we like to use, sort of like an image of a plate that can help us remember, or our clients remember, how to build a balanced plate. And so if you have your plate and you're picturing like cutting it in half and taking a quarter of that plate, or like a pie chunk out, we like to recommend you doing a quarter of it is from starchy grains. Okay, that would be like your breads, your rice, your pastas. Although for healthy eating in general, and especially for PCOS, you really want to choose the complex starchy grain choices. Those
Like,
would be,
what would be?
Yeah, that would be like choosing 100% whole wheat bread instead of a white bread, or brown rice instead of white rice, or quinoa, barley, lentils, chickpeas, like whole grain products. And that's because they contain good fiber, which helps with the glucose and insulin levels be better controlled. It helps with satiety, so keeping you fuller longer, lasting throughout the day, having that meal last a little bit longer, and also keeping you maybe from eating less overall. They also contain some protein too, which is another source of energy. But these complex carbohydrates are important because they are a main source of energy, much to what many people think now. So then so that was one quarter of your plate. The other quarter is protein. So going back to the starchy grains, using your fist can be an eyeball kind of measurement of how much brown rice or quinoa, you don't want to take up
the size of your fist.
Yeah, you don't want to take up the whole plate, but about estimating the size of your fist is a good portion size. For your proteins, a good portion size is like a deck of playing cards that you might play with in the dorm, but or the palm of your hand, which varies more person to person, obviously, but a deck of cards is a good size for your...
People are going to be like, grow hand.
I know, your hand's bigger, I'm going to eat what he has.
Yeah.
So, that's why I like the playing cards, but you want to try to choose the leaner cuts of meat, because a lot of women with PCOS can have high cholesterol levels, high lipid levels, and so making heart-healthy choices is best. That means choosing baked chicken over fried chicken more often, fish more, less red meat if possible, but just again, even if you have those, watch your portion size. And then the whole other half is where you can load up on veggies. Choosing a lot of different, I always say like a rainbow of veggies a day, because different colors have different vitamins and minerals. And loading up on those veggies allow you to keep your portions under control, deck of cards in your fist, because they have fiber, it fills you up, they're low in calories, but they, again, help with satiety, weight management, and control those insulin and glucose levels. So
that's the perfect plate.
Perfect plate.
So what if someone's on the go, let's say, they need to rush around, they're going from class to class, but their stomach is growling.
Yeah.
What sort of recommendations do you have for that person?
Sure. I think it's always good, I think don't let be how you start your day. I think
Right.
making sure you're getting a good breakfast, wake up a few minutes early to go to the dining hall, and even grab a whole grain English muffin with peanut butter and take it to go if you need to. But again, that thinking ahead just for a few seconds is going to help prevent that situation where your stomach's growling or where you end up needing to go to the vending machine. Also, I always, love having almonds on hand or dried chickpeas or peanut butter in the dorm. Keeps pretty nicely. Even before you walk out of the dining hall, grab an apple so you have something to take with you, or grab a yogurt to send back to your mini fridge or whatever. So you're always thinking to be prepared so you're not caught in a tricky situation.
So you're always like kind of stealing food.
Am I going to get called? Am I going to get reported?
Just be prepared.
Yes.
Take that apple with you as you go.
Tuition.
That's right.
say that.
I mean, I think it's okay to take an apple on the way out for what you're paying. So, in that, I think it's important to note, with what you're saying, that living with PCOS in school is absolutely manageable in the nutrition space, and you don't have to follow some crazy diet plan, right? And you're not at all suggesting follow a diet plan.
No.
You're saying just plan ahead and make smart choices.
Smart choices that you or I or everybody should be making as
Right.
a part of a healthy diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that same vein of not being too regimented, or oh my gosh, I have PCOS, so I need to follow this diet or this diet or this diet. It's sort of the same thing with fitness, in that there's not one perfect fitness plan for a woman with PCOS. The main thing that you need to remember, switching gears to fitness, is that you just need to do what is right for you and what you can do consistently without absolutely hating. You need to enjoy it and have fun doing it, and maybe take a friend along with you. A couple of pointers for fitness are going to come from me. I'm a fitness instructor outside of working with RMA of Connecticut, and it's really, really helped me personally manage my PCOS symptoms, kept them sort of at bay, along with a good solid nutrition plan. So the first thing I think to note is that you want to try and schedule in time to go to the gym, to actually physically go to your fitness center. And I would be willing to say that everybody watching this who is going to college, you probably have a fitness center on campus, and if you don't, there's definitely a fitness center around there that will take your student ID and probably give you a discount, so milk that bad boy. So when you go, the nice thing about a gym is that you have supervision. You have the options to take classes. You can take friends with you. You can make it an outing, do a class and dinner or something like that, or class and study, whatever you want to do. And then you also have access to machines there. You want to make sure that you know how to use them. So ask somebody at the front desk, ask a physical trainer. Maybe there are programs at your school that give you a certain amount of visits with a physical trainer. There are so many different options here, and all you have to do is ask about it. So let's say, though, you schedule in time every day, just like you would a class or studying, but you just don't hit it. You aren't able to make it one day. You get to the end of your day, and you're like, oh no, I didn't get to work out today. I didn't get to have that moment for me. What do I do? I think you have a few options here. You can work out in your dorm room. There are so many things you could do just to kind of get your heart elevated for just a few moments even. So one thing that I personally like to do, because I'm constantly on the go, we've all got busy days, is a set of Tabata. So Tabata is an 8-round, it's just 4 minutes, you guys. You could do this during a commercial break of Bachelor in Paradise. That's all you gotta do. Okay, it's 8 rounds, 30 seconds each round. 20 seconds of all-out hard work, 10 seconds of rest. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. You do that 8 times in a row, 4 minutes, boom, you're done. You don't have to think about it anymore. And then you get to go back to your juicy whatever you're watching. Okay, so it's gonna be really easy for you to manage that. Another thing, and actually later on in the video, we'll talk about our Facebook group that's coming out for Top Form at the Dorm, and we'll be posting some videos, like workout videos. I'll show you my favorite Tabata on there, so look out for that posting. But another thing you can do if you didn't make it to the gym that day is get some resistance bands. Put those bad boys on and do your Tabata even, or do just a couple of exercises while you're sitting there watching TV or studying. Just even if it's not the best workout in your life, for me anyway, it kind of tricks my brain into thinking like, okay, I did something really good for myself today. That was physical and movement, and I feel really good about that, looking forward to tomorrow. So, if you can't make it to the gym and be supervised or go to a class with some friends, there are options otherwise. So try and plan it out. A couple other things you could do is just take a lap around campus. If you have 20 or 30 minutes in between some classes, grab a friend, explore the campus, explore the new town that you're in. There's so many things that you can go and do that you just have to physically do. And I say just make one of your friends do it with you. It'll be more fun, all right? So we have kind of touched on the foundation of PCOS. We've talked about what it is, and then a couple of, a starter pack, if you will, of, how to start to manage your PCOS while at school. But let's say you're not seeing the changes that you want to see, but you're trying really hard. Dr. Ressler, talk a little bit about the things that women in college with PCOS should be looking for in worsening symptoms type of thing.
Sure. So it can present differently in everyone because it's different for every person with PCOS. It's not the same. So it can present with cycles becoming more irregular. So we already talked about how a normal cycle is 21 to 35 days in between. So if it's getting shorter than that or longer than 35 days, that could be one sign. Another could be worsening of acne, noticing new hair growth in places you weren't expecting it before, noticing that your hair is thinning out. All of these things could be indications that PCOS is acting up.
Okay.
And you guys brought up a lot of really good points, and I just want to drive home a couple of things that you brought up also, that there isn't one single diet or one single workout that is best for PCOS. Okay, it's about balance, moderation of all of these things, and everyone is gonna slip up every now and then, which is fine. It happens, especially in college, but it's about finding that good overall balance, whether it's in with nutrition or exercise. And I think you brought up also another really good point of finding something you enjoy. And not doing the same thing every day, because
right.
It's about, again, diversifying what you're doing.
Right. I think that's a great point. So if you're just tuning in, we are with Dr. Ressler, a reproductive endocrinologist here at Reproductive Medicine Associates of Connecticut, and Jill Hickey, our nutritionist, and they are both on the PCOS team here, and we are discussing Top Form at the Dorm, our new initiative that is geared towards women in college who need to manage their PCOS symptoms while at school, because their lifestyle has been flipped over on its head. They're living in a tiny dorm, and so we're kind of starting to tick the boxes of what you can do to help manage your symptoms. And so we have a few frequently asked questions that we've sourced. So we're just going to hit off a couple of those. Let's see. Where are we? Here we go. So let's see. This is a really good one, and one that I've wondered myself before I was seeing them is, okay, so if a woman has PCOS, should she be gluten or dairy free, Jill?
That's a great question. We get that a lot here. The answer is not necessarily. There's no specific diet for PCOS, like Dr. Ressler said, no special diet. What we do encourage, though, is just that balance that we're talking about. If you came to myself or Carolyn, the other nutritionist, we would take a look at what you're eating and really just trying to focus more on the whole grains and balancing your plate. If somebody came in with a specific, with a specific intolerance to gluten or an allergy to whey or casein, then we certainly would modify that and help counsel you to still make balanced nutrition choices with those modifications in mind, but it's not an all right out, cut out. We really encourage low carbohydrates, but not no carbs. So
Right.
we're focused on the whole grains. If you need gluten-free for some other reason, then we can help you find gluten-free whole grains that are part of a balanced diet.
And that kind of goes, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, so in general, I think what you're saying is also we want to avoid those restrictive type of diets,
Yes.
right? We don't want to cut out all of anything
Right.
unless there really is a true allergy or true sensitivity
Exactly.
to it. We want, to keep all the different food groups in our diet and just have the right balance of them.
Exactly, and there are a lot of fad diets out there, and they're not, you might see short-term results on those, but in the long run, they're not, you could be deficient in nutrients, and they're not going to have the effect your body needs to help with ovulation, help control glucose and insulin, and it'll end up going back to balance again.
And they're not fun.
No, they're not fun.
They're not fun and not enjoyable. So they're giving you permission to not do a crazy fat diet and completely eliminate something. Don't kill yourself.
And one other thing, there's a lot, unfortunately, of misinformation online about PCOS, and you may catch a glimpse of a website that says follow this diet and it will cure you of your PCOS, and that's just not accurate. Again, we can control the symptoms so that people are living symptom free, but you can't cure it. And again, there's not a specific diet only for PCOS.
That's okay. We're in this together, guys. All right. So another really good question that often comes up, Dr. Ressler. So if I have PCOS, am I infertile?
That's a great question. One that I hear every day from women of all ages, because people really worry once they're diagnosed with PCOS that they are going to have infertility, they're not going to be able to have children, and that's just not accurate. So, some people with PCOS do need a little bit of help from us. We see women again every day with PCOS who are trying to conceive, and that goes back to the irregular cycles often as the cause of the needing a little bit of assistance. But PCOS does not equal infertility. And that should be remembered, because if you're not trying to get pregnant, that also means that contraception is needed, because you can't rely on the PCOS to prevent it.
Yes. Hear that? Okay. One more here. So, Dr. Ressler, do a lot of women have PCOS?
Yes, a lot of women have it.
Yes, period.
Yes. So as I mentioned at the beginning, it's thought that up to about 15% of women have PCOS. My personal opinion is that it goes underdiagnosed. I think even more women have it than that. And so, yes, there is a big community of women out there of all ages. Again, it's something that someone's born with and has throughout her lifetime. So there are other people just like you out there, and we are here to help bring you together and give you tips on how to manage it.
Excellent. Jill, anything to add? You good?
Good.
Okay, great. I mean, on that same note, it's, the reason that we're doing Top Form at the Dorm is because we want to create a sense of community, because we know that there are people with these questions, with these concerns. So, we're trying to create this community for you, and we hope that you guys enjoy it and participate. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. With Top Form at the Dorm, we are going to be creating a ton of content for you. So we're going to be live streaming more. We're going to be making videos on very particular subjects, even some that we've touched on today, that you're definitely going to want to see. We're rolling those out all September long in honor of PCOS Awareness Month. It's going to be a marathon of videos. What else? We'll have an in-person event later on in the semester, probably over your winter break, which you can look forward to. And then we'll also have, throughout the whole month of September, a social media influencer commenting on our content. It's Jessica Ash with Jessica Ash Wellness, so look that up. And thank you for joining our first event for Top Form at the Dorm. Make sure you check out the landing page on our website. What's the website for that? You got that? All right, it should be like right here. Right there. And then we also have a Facebook group. So all you need to do for that is go to that landing page and you'll see a link right there for it. And you'll go, and it's a closed private group, so nobody will know that you're in it. And one of the best things, I mean, if for nothing else, go join that Facebook page, because at the end of September we are having a giveaway for all of the people on that Facebook group with all of these goodies here. We have an awesome planner, some workout things. We got a really cool water bottle. This is like the same one that I have, and it's great. We've got some
awesome mug.
because every day I'm hustling. And we've got some resistance bands. So we've got a lot of really good stuff. Oh, and then also a $100 gift card to Whole Foods. So you can just take what Jill said and just go run wild with it. So lots of things to look forward to. Stay tuned for everything. Make sure to join that Facebook group so you know of everything coming up. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Dr. Ressler and Jill Hickey for helping me out today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.